Obedient to what? Because he was a Sagittarius. He was just like me. He knew that I would know what he was talking about. Obedient to the laws of life, to that which is given to you. You know, as a little boy, I never been to school. I remember when my mother lived under the floor of a house, not on the apartment under the second floor or below. No, we lived under the floor in the dirt on burlap sacks. And I look out of the floor when it was raining that day, and I said that one day I was going to heal my mother. She was very sick. Now, why did I say that? I was only 5 years old. But I made a statement that came out of my mouth at that age that I'm living now. What did I do in the journey of life to be afforded that my mother no longer have the pain she used to have, and that I said that when I was 5. When I was 27 in New Orleans, 1960, I'm sitting in a barber chair on Claiborne Avenue with Timothy Cogman. And I said to him that I was going to do something for the black woman of the world. I said, because she's the one that has been disenfranchised, dejected, and rejected by everyone, including us. What that something was going to be, I didn't know. I was a merchant seaman then. Little did I know that I was going to be a healer. At 27, ladies and gentlemen, I was suffering with asthma, diabetes. I was impotent. I was angry. Very extremely angry. Later, I'm to understand in my research that my anger was precipitated because the oxygen that I was being deprived of, being asthmatic, made me neurotic. Had to. I'm being deprived of oxygen to my brain. There is instability. I find myself now affording myself to the world as a healer. And something came over me about 5 years ago and reminded me, but you're not totally in compliance, Dr. Sebi, because you said that you was going to do something for the black woman of the world, and now you're going to have to do that. So what did I do? It was easy for me. I turned it over to the sisters. They are the one that's curing AIDS now and sickle cell and all the other diseases, not me. They learn it, and they're doing it. I felt good. That was easy. Again, obedience showed up when I was working for the county. A steam engineer. The boy didn't go to school. He has a job as a steam engineer in 1970. You would think that he would be holding on to it because the boy is already 37. And he has a job as an engineer, making all that money. And one day, again come another voice. 2, you're going to quit your job and you're going to quit your wife. I quit my wife that I loved so very much, Marilyn Woods, and I quit my job that was the best thing I ever had. Why did I do that? I don't know why. I remember when I left Maryland, I cried. I cried 5 days. And in my crying, I said, well, if you cried, if you left her, why are you crying? Why don't you go back? But the voice inside said, you better not. Obedience to that voice from inside of you is what I'm talking about. But that voice that comes to us is denied because philosophy has taken over. Philosophy? Well, There is Benedict Spinoza on the improvement of the human understanding. When I picked that book up and I opened it, I didn't understand anything in this book. I thought that I was very stupid. Had to. After all, the boy didn't go to school. Benedict Spinoza is a philosopher. But look at his inconsistencies now. He said, on the improvement of the human understanding, how could your understanding be improved when you're eating hogs, potatoes, rice, and beans? So Benedict Spinoza just gave us a half-truth, or half of his thought, I suppose. I mean, I'm helping the man because he's the philosopher. On the improvement of the human understanding, and it is hog, meat that made the cows mad in England. What did they eat? Meat. So when Benedict Spinoza said, talk about the human understanding, he should have explained that meat and carbohydrates would really play havoc on you, and then you need improvement. But to improve it, you had to leave that stuff. That was not forthcoming. So, after all, I wasn't that stupid, isn't it? Mr. Benedict Spinoza. The other one was, even though I never felt that he, Benedict Spinoza, because he was a philosopher, that he was superior to anyone else, Benedict Spinoza afforded himself by nature, was afforded to us by nature to do just what an ant does or a crab. He had a duty. His was to talk. Mine is different. Mine is to afford healing. As I turn toward the philosophy of healing, because of the carbon papers, meaning the understanding that comes out of that perspective, I was able to see inconsistencies, not only in the allopathic, such as affording us the chemicals that are inorganic and carcinogenic. Why has this been afforded? Because of disobedience. Again, disobedience. You know what happened when you were disobedient to your parents? You get a little whipping, they call it, with a belt. I never got a whipping in my life. Disobedience to the laws of life, yes. Here it is. The allopathic isolates the active ingredients in the plants and then use that. But God made a plant with 102 minerals. When you isolate one, that's a poison. They call that a protoplasmic poison. The herbalist, oh, he just as guilty. The poor healers in America need help. Lots of help. The herbalists and alternative medicine need more help than the physician. Because the healers, the herbalists, are using peppermint, aloe vera, echinacea, golden seal, comfrey, garlic, and all these things are poison. You need help. They need help. They need love. They've been reading books. Life is not a product of a book. So why do we read books expecting to extrapolate from that book substance that is applicable to life? Something is wrong. So when I found that these things were poisonous, I spent and pondered much why things are so clear to me. Is it that I am treading on treacherous ground like Mr. Magoo, and I'm totally unaware